What's up, guys? Social politics doesn't have a place in Star Citizen, and I'm going to break down why I feel that's true. In today's video, I'm going to go through some of my recent experiences where I experienced social politics firsthand, and share why I think experiences like mine can have such a huge detrimental effect to the PvP community in Star Citizen, and potentially the larger community as a whole, because I don't think it's exclusive to PvP either. So let's break it down. So, approximately 1 week ago, or a week and a half ago at this point, I got notified that some rule changes were being proposed in a public Discord that I was a part of, that I was a moderator in. Now, this Discord was started by a prominent PvP group in the space. I'm going to try to avoid using any names in this video. And they invited the entire PvP community to join it to give feedback on PvP and try to encourage the community to get more involved, share good feedback, and just kind of ripped off one of each other and hopefully get it more attention than it currently feels like it has in the game. And about a week and a half ago, I saw something that became super troubling in my opinion, because it was a rule change that was specifically designed to target a specific group of people within the PvP space. And now, for some context and history, the particular group that this rule was targeting, I am no fan of either. I've had lots of my own issues with them. Honestly, I just had to ban a couple of their members in my Discord for some actions that some of their people did. And so I'm no fan of these guys, but this rule change was basically suggesting that if you have 7 or 8 members of your Discord or of your organization in this Discord that get banned, then your entire org can be banned if the moderators say so. And at face value, I didn't necessarily see anything inherently wrong with that, because it's just removing the problem children. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized how much of a problem I thought it presented. And sure enough, within, I think, less than 12 hours of that rule being passed in the moderator Discord, the problem child org, the org that gets banned more than any other in this Discord, was immediately thrown up for a vote because they're the only group that has more than 7 or 8 members banned. And immediately, I saw why this rule was a mistake and why, in my opinion, you needed to vote no on this vote. Now, like I said, I am no fan of these guys, and frankly, I have a lot to gain by this group being banned in a lot of places. They cause me and some of my members lots of sometimes headaches and annoyances, and they act in what I would consider to be very inappropriate ways sometimes. So I had a lot to gain, but I strongly believe that in a Discord designed to be open to the public, open to anybody in the PvP space, that you then can't take a group of people and lock them out because some of their members cause problems. That is what we call guilty by association. You're taking members who haven't violated rules and you are claiming them and deeming them guilty because other people have violated rules. If you don't see why that's a problem, you should just click off this video. Generally speaking, in a public setting, you don't kick people or ban people because you suspect they may do something wrong down the road based on their association. Now, in a personal Discord, by all means, it's your personal space. Do with it how you please. So, this vote was basically brought up, and immediately I voted no because I don't believe in guilty by association, even though I have a lot to gain by this group getting banned. And I held firm on this, and I got a lot of pushback, which I expected, because a lot of groups are very, very, very biased toward this group of people that they were trying to ban. And frankly, I am too. I'm biased towards them. I don't like them. I would love to see them banned from all sorts of things. But I also, like, I'm not going to let my bias influence the way I vote in a public space. So I voted no, and this is where the social manipulation that I experienced comes into play. Because very quickly I showed intent that I was going to vote no to this ban, and a particular member from the community, who in the past I've had solid experiences with, I kind of knew already that he and I didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and that he takes a much more harsh approach to the way he handles certain situations than I do. But he reaches out to me, and at first was very, very civil, was just trying to throw some scenarios out there to see if I would reconsider my vote. And after some discussion, it ended somewhat civilly, and he basically just was like, just reconsider, or give it a second to consider it, and we'll see if it changes. And I did. I slept on it, and I still felt pretty strongly that guilty by association is wrong. Now that conversation kind of died down, and then the vote came time, and I voted no for real this time. And very, very quickly after, someone who was not in the moderator chat DMs me. Now, we knew that our messages were getting leaked all the time, so I'm not surprised I got DM'd. I'm also not surprised that I got DM'd from the owner of the group that started this Discord. Because I think he's even the one that started the Discord, but then he kept leaving because he didn't like it. I don't really know the story there. Frankly, it doesn't matter. But he reaches out and DMs me. Now, mind you, he and I have never had an interaction. We have no previous DM history at all until he DMs me out of nowhere, pretending to be all friendly, supportive, encouraging to me, our group, what we've been doing, our events, PvP, blah, 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 in an attempt to get me to change my vote in this public Discord with like 40 moderators. So I now have had 2 separate instances of outside people, not myself, trying to privately and outside of the group's purview manipulate me into changing my vote. And so this happened. I was extremely upset, extremely frustrated by what I was witnessing, because when the second guy reached out, the owner of the group who started the server reached out, my big thing was, you moderate the problem childs as they come up and commit acts. You moderate them, you ban them, kick them, whatever it might be, and you deal with them on a case-by-case basis. But generally speaking, everything should be kept in game. In game. Too many people in the PvP space take things out of the game. For what purpose? It serves no purpose but to cause discourse, frustration, anger, and general distrust within the community. And it's not a surprise that the PvP space in Star Citizen is so small, because it's extremely cutthroat, filled with a bunch of literal children who behave like children. So after this person realized that being friendly to me wasn't going to change my vote, he very quickly changed tunes. He deleted all of his messages to me, or all the ones that mattered. In fact, it might be all of them at this point. I don't know. I haven't checked. And I was in his Discord as well, and he put me into this cell within his Discord. And this cell was basically designed to remove all my access from their Discord. I couldn't see anything, I couldn't type anything, and it just gave me one channel, and the entire purpose of this channel was just to troll people. Harass them, troll them, spam them with pings, whatever it might be. I don't really care. And I literally could not believe my eyes when I saw this. He put me in this little cell with a different moderator. So both two of us had voted no. He did the same thing to both of us. He put us in the cell, and said that the first person to change their vote to a yes will get out of the cell. The other one will stay here forever. So very, very, very quickly, within a span of about 10 minutes, he changed tunes. He went from being very, very friendly to deleting all evidence of being friendly and going on the offensive and trying to use peer pressure as a method to manipulate someone's vote to push what ultimately was their agenda, which was to ban this group of people. Group A really doesn't like Group B, and Group B really doesn't like Group A. So we're being used as pawns, essentially, to push their outside agendas on each other. Mind you, this is happening on both sides. It's all week it's been happening. The game does not have a need for any of this. And frankly, it doesn't have a want either. The community suffers because behavior like this exists in the community today. And it needs to stop. Because if it doesn't, our community will remain extremely small, and the game will continue to cater more and more towards the PvE crowd because that's where the players are going. Because no one wants to touch the PvP community with a 10-foot pole because we all suck. We're extremely rude to each other. We take things out of the game constantly. We're publicly bashing each other on social media, on Discords, and global chat. Very rarely is there any amount of respect in this space publicly. Now, privately, I've seen lots and lots of respect. And some really great instances. But publicly, we don't see that almost ever. It's a terrible look for the community. Too much of this stuff stays out of game. I like to keep things in game. And so, it was rather ironic how I'm going to wrap up this video. Because this group that tried to manipulate me by first being friendly and then taking things out of game and using his Discord to try to peer pressure me into changing a vote in a Discord that frankly didn't really matter because we kept banning all their members anyway on a case-by-case basis because they keep violating the rules. He kept things out of game. Well, like 1 or 2 days later, we returned the favor, but we kept it in game. And all I have to say is, friendly banter is awesome. It's great. I love it. Continue to do that. It's a lot of fun. Keep the stuff in game while we wait for the game to develop. And when the time comes that things like formal alliances, partnerships, rivalries, enemies, friends, foes really matter because there's a stake in the game as well, then we can do stuff like this all you want. But right now, it is a massive detriment to the community because every time it happens, it stirs up another wave of drama, another wave of frustration, another wave of anger and hate, and it pushes people away from the PvP community. And then we act surprised when the developers want nothing to do with us. Let's keep things in-game where they belong, no IRL stuff, keep the banter friendly, keep it somewhat respectful. We are all human beings. Let's go kill each other in game. Let's have some fun. Roll the clip.
He's got 3 of them.
That laser is just laying into my gun.
Yep.
And
I'm closing in. Firing on
I don't know where he is.
Oh, he's on your port side. Roll to port.
Yeah.
All right,
Guns
bring
up.
him to me. I'll try to boom tube him.
Copy.
Nice.
Working on power plant
I'll
on
bring you under.
laser, XPJX or whatever.
He's rolling.
pretty hard. All right, lay into that gun.
This dude's giving me his power plants.
Oh, whoa! I got railgun.
Meteors.
Say again, dude.
The Thunderer was giving me his power.
What's better than one angle? I think it's two angles.